baby. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, Tunya back again. Well, after 25 years of wanting to go to Japan, I've finally been to Japan. I just spent 2 weeks there and I came back yesterday. I'm pretty knackered. It was a crazy place, and for retro gaming, it was pretty amazing. I went to a lot of the places, they say, like Akihabara, a lot of the shops like Beep and Super Potato and Trader and all these places. And I have to say that Akihabara is not cheap, as they say, a little bit of a tourist trap in lots of ways. But there are deals there to be had, and on the whole I would say a lot of the prices in Akihabara are pretty much 2/3 the price of eBay, plus I suppose minus the postage, so it doesn't work out too bad. But I went a bit nuts and I had a list of things I wanted to pick up, and I bought quite a few things. So I'm just going to run through what I bought. I am going to do a few other videos as well. I took some pictures of some of these retro shops. I'll do a video on that, and I did a video on some of the two of the two amazing arcades I came across. Hey in Akihabara, which is pretty amazing, and Makaido as well, which is a pretty awesome old school arcade as well. So I done a really nice video of that place, but it's been hard to film in these places. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run through a load of the pickups I picked up. I'm really surprised I managed to get all this in my suitcase on the way back, but here we go. Let's run through it. There's plenty of places in Japan you can get games, but if you go to there's a couple of shops called Hard Off and Book Off. I did find a Hard Off, but it was in Akihabara, so it wasn't really cheap. But I found Book Offs and that, and they sell second-hand games and everything. But we also went to Osaka, and Osaka's pretty much got the same type of shops, but Osaka's definitely cheaper than Tokyo. And there's some things I picked up. I can't remember half time when I picked these things up. It was Osaka or Tokyo, but I managed to pick these ones up cheap. So the first one is Mr. Driller on the Dreamcast. Cool little game this is, Mr. Driller. I picked this up literally for like 250 yen from Book Off, which is probably about £1.50. So, and it's what you'll find in Japan, what I found in Japan as well, is these games, they're perfect. Everything you can think of, they're perfect. They're nicely packed in cellophane, which they are now. What they do as well is you go into a shop, they unpack everything, they take it out and they show you the disc, and then they say, oh, you know, is that okay for you? Doesn't matter how much the game is, and the discs are literally always perfect. A lot of shops rate them on that, but literally I seen one disc with a little bit of a scuff. I bought, but they're perfect. They're nothing like the shops here. It's just they look after the game so much better in Japan. So the first game I picked up was Dreamcast Mr. Driller. So I'll put that up there. And in the same shop, I also picked up Japanese Sega Rally. That was £2. That was about 250 yen as well, which is, like I said, about £1.50, something like that. I picked that one up, and they were so cheap that I just thought I'd pick them up. Why not, innit? So look, this is going to be a bit crazy. I did pick up lots of crazy stuff. I went to Makaido, or Mikado, whichever one you call it. Amazing arcade, just up an alleyway. Unless you know what it is, you probably wouldn't find it. I went back there quite a few times. Loads of jam and cabs. Upstairs as well, it's just fighting games ever. I love that place. But they had a few things for sale. In the glass cabinet they had upstairs, they had the Under Defeat Isanti DVD, and they had it for like 1,500 yen, which is probably about a tenner. These things were really expensive at one point, and I seen it there, I was like, I'm gonna have to buy that. So I bought that from Mikado. Like I said, I had a list of things I wanted to pick up. I had some PS2 games that I wanted to get because they're getting pretty pricey on eBay. And I could be honest, I had some pretty good deals on them as well. So the first one I picked up was the boxed limited edition Mushi-sama. This one is pretty much complete. It comes with a figure as well. I used to have, when it first came out, I bought the normal disc version of this. This currently is going for a fair bit of money on eBay, and I'm sure I literally paid about 30 quid for it. Comes with a really nice box. And inside the box as well, the figure's in here as well. If I pull the figure out, yeah, the figures in here as well, and the disc. It's they did sort of he showed me the disc, and he asked me whether I was happy to buy it, and it's very, very, very hard to see. It's very hard to see, but it just needs a little bit of a clean. There's a tiny scuff right there, tiny, hardly anything, and he was a bit sort of unsure whether I'd be happy with the disc. But well, put it this way, if you got a bloody game in this country, what happens in games, you get the games, they scratch the shit, they charge you an extra 50 pence, and then you take it back saying a scratch, and they chuck you through that machine and grind a sort of layer off it. So I picked up Mushy. So I couldn't resist that. I seen it there, and it's such a good price. I had to get that. So I really love this game. It's quite difficult to get hold of on the PS2. So we'll check that over there. Other games I picked up on the PS2. I really wanted the Fantasy Zone collection, and I did manage to find it. This is one of the Sega Ages. This was rated AA and B, so it's not the top level of quality, but it's literally perfect. Pretty much, it's almost like brand new. Very nicely sealed. I love this. It's got all the Fantasy Zone games on it. Excellent. So I'm really happy I picked that up. I think it cost me about 30 quid, which is pretty good. I also picked up Shogami no Shiro 2, or Mobile Light Force 2. I don't know why they called it that in this country, but that was another game. I really like this game. I picked up that, which is quite nice. I can't remember how much I paid for it. I also picked up, well, I didn't pick it up, my mate picked it up, and he decided to buy one with a slightly nicer box. And as you can see, it was 250 yen, so that was literally about £1.80 maybe. Can't fault it. I love this game as well. This is like, this is one of the best old school beat 'em ups for its time when it came out. I really do love this game. It's like 250 yen, and I'm pretty sure, where did that come from? I'm not sure what shop that came from actually. As we get into a bit more of the good stuff, I love cave shooters, as you may have noticed on my channel. I'm a big shoot 'em up fan, and I pretty much wanted to pick these up on the PS2, so I got Dodon Apache, Daijou, sorry. This is a brilliant release. It's pretty much almost arcade perfect. Come out in the I paid, as you can see, it's upside down. I paid 3,300 yen, which roughly about 25 quid maybe, and that's really good. Online on eBay this goes for a hell of a lot more. Brilliant shoot 'em up, definitely well worth picking up on the PS2. So that was one of my other ones. Here it goes. I say I love cave shooters, as you may have noticed on my channel. I'm a big fan of shooters. But I love the cave games. My favourite cave game is Escaluda. I'd say while I was in Japan, I went in quite a few of the game centres, and they had Escaluda on Jamacab, and I did end up playing a lot, so I chucked a lot of 100 yens in Escaluda. And I managed to pick up Escaluda on the PS2. Like I said, I paid, was it 3,900 yen, which is probably about 35 quid, something like that. Currently on eBay, I'm sure this is going for over 60. I love this game, and I'm really glad I picked it up. Classic shooter, really good, so I'm really glad I picked that up. The other thing I wanted to do was pick up Slimline PS2, a Japanese one, but in the end I didn't really have enough weight limit left in my luggage to pick one up, so I'll have to use my swap magic to play it. But yeah, amazing game. I love that on the PS2, and well happy and picked that up. So what we'll do is now we'll go to, I'll open this up. I haven't actually opened this up yet. I say we went to Osaka as well, which was awesome. We went to Osaka Castle, and I don't know why I've always wanted to do it. I walked up to Osaka Castle, and there was a boot sale going on, like a Japanese boot sale. How cool is that? So I scoured the boot sale up and down outside Osaka Castle, and I just wanted to buy something game related from this boot sale. Anything basically, and I found one game, and I found baseball. Was it Best Play Baseball 90 on the Famicom? It's a pretty nice stick actually. The guy in the store was happy, and he sold this to me for 100 yen, which is about 70 pence. And I'd look at eBay, and it's going for about 7-8 quid. So bargain basically. And I bought it from a Japanese boot sale. How cool is that? I always really wanted to go to one. So that was that one. So that's a little story attached to that. So I'm going to keep that. Sorry for the cutting on this video, guys, but I keep getting phone calls and stuff, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. But anyway, we went to, I think it was Shinjuku we went to, and we had a look around there. It's pretty funny from my point of view. You walk around there, and you look up, and all of a sudden you can see Godzilla's head over the top of one of the massive buildings. And it lights up, and every now and then it plays Godzilla music and stuff, and you get his eyes flash, and sort of all steam comes out and stuff, which is really cool. And I went in one of the Sega arcades there. I thought I'd have a look. It was like a multi-level Sega arcade, and they got the UFO machines. And in one of the UFO machines was a Godzilla figure, and I just thought, oh, I'm gonna have to get that. So I spent ages getting it. It probably cost me about 15 quid, but I've got a Godzilla figure, which is really cool. It's a fair size one. I say with the UFO machines in Japan, they're pretty much everything in UFO machines is really good quality. It's not like the tat you get here. You get figures and stuff in the UFO machine, and they're amazingly made. Like, and there's loads of toy shops and stuff in Tokyo. They sell all the stuff that you get in UFO catchers, and they're all amazingly well made. And I did find some funny things though. Like I found one was selling curries, biscuits, frying pans. It was pretty amusing. I think I got a couple of pictures of these things. If I can find a couple of pictures, I'll chuck them in the video. And yeah, there's some funny things I found in UFO catchers, but that's some amazing stuff. But I managed to sort of get myself Godzilla. So it's Sega produced Godzilla. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to sort of unpack that and put it up on the side. So that's my Godzilla I picked up. Tell you another thing is that we went down Tokyo Bay, and we went to this big shopping centre, which was really odd because like Tokyo was crazy busy. But you go down this shopping centre in the night, and there was like no one there, which is really odd. But the reason we went there was there's a full-size Gundam statue there, like, and I got a video of it, so I'll chuck this in the video as well. And this full-size Gundam statue was awesome. It all lit up, and then if you waited around, they played this video in the background and projected like Gundam cartoons and all that. So while I was there, I thought, oh, I'm going to have to buy a Gundam now, just to remind me of being there. So I got myself a Gundam toy, but I didn't actually buy it from down there because, unfortunately, the Gundam shop was shut by the time we got to it. So I picked it up in a toy shop. I can't remember exactly where it was, but this one was like 2,380 yen, so it weren't too bad. A Big Camera, actually, I picked it up. Oh, Big Camera, what can I say about them? They're everywhere. They're just huge electrical stores that sell pretty much everything. On multiple levels, but not as big as Yodobashi. That place in Akihabara is insane. It's like the biggest Asda's or Tesco's you can think of, but 9 levels, and they sell everything in it, and there's just amazing stuff in it. But yeah, I picked that up from a Big Camera, which is, I don't know if you can see it. It's a Gundam, but it's like an SD Gundam. So I didn't want to pick up anything too big, so I couldn't fit it in a suitcase. So I thought, oh, I'll get a Gundam in it. Why not, innit? So, console-wise, I had 2 plans for consoles I wanted to pick up. So my first one is a Neo Geo CD-Z. I've owned a Neo Geo CD, but I never owned a CD-Z. And I really like the soundtracks that they did on the Neo Geo games. So I was lucky enough, I bought myself a Neo Geo CD-Z. It's not boxed. Reason I didn't box, because I did pick up another console pickup, but I was a bit strapped for room. So I had an unboxed version, but it was like 70 quid less than a boxed version. It works perfect. In this little bag by here, if I can open it up. I had to put everything in a bag so it didn't go rolling around everywhere. It came with the power supply and the cables and everything. And it came with a perfectly working pad as well. And say the reason I wanted this one, this is the dual speed Neo Geo CD. So this one had a double speed drive in it, so it loaded the games a hell of a lot faster. I say I always wanted one. I say got a few little scratches, but it's pretty cool, and I say that they're not most reliable machines in the world, but this one works. So I'm happy with that. So that was one of my console pickups. So I had that, and what I had to do then as well, since I picked that up, I picked that one up in, where was I? I was in Akihabara, that was. There was, on the main front where Trader is, you walk along, and there's a shop, I'm not sure if it was called, like, I can't remember the name of it, actually. But there was one on the top of it, Akihabara, you just walk straight in, and then there was, just a bit down from it, there was one underneath. And the one underneath was cheaper than the one on the top, even though it was the same shop. So I picked that one up there. I think I paid 20... I think it was either 22 or 26,000 yen for it, and everywhere else I looked, they were 33 and 36,000 yen unboxed, and boxed were going for even more. So I had a pretty good. Oh, sorry, no, that's the wrong price actually. That was the other pickup I picked up. Sorry, and can't remember how much I paid for that. I think it worked out about 170 quid, and I think the boxed versions were about 250. So the price I quoted the first time is for the other pickup, which I'll show you soon. So while I was there, I thought, well, I'm going to have to find some Neo Geo CD games now, aren't I? It's got to be done. So I basically picked up a load of games, and the majority of them, I picked them up for less than 15 quid. And I picked some up in Trader, I picked some up in Osaka, and I picked some up in Akihabara. So I bought Samurai Shodown 4, which is very nice. I bought Fatal Fury Special, and that was less than 1,000 yen, so that was literally about 7 quid. I picked up World Heroes Perfect. I'm sure that was like about a tenner. I picked up Real Bout Special, which I'm pretty sure that was about a tenner as well. Samurai Shodown 2, which was less than a tenner. King of Fighters 96, which was probably about a tenner as well. Fatal Fury 3, this was really cheap. I'm sure this was about like 4 quid. Fighters History Dynamite, that was less than a tenner. Sonic Wings 2, I think that was a little bit more expensive, but I can't remember the exact price. I picked up King of Fighters 94, you can see 480 yen, so you know, it's about £3 odd. I picked up World Heroes Jet, which is less than 1,000 yen again, so rather cheap. And I did pay a little bit more for this one. It was 3,130 yen. It's a bit hard to see. And that was Sonic Wings free, but I thought, oh, I'll get Sonic Wings free. So that was a little bit more expensive. That was about 25 quid, maybe, roughly, something like that. So I picked up a load of PC Engine CD games. Sorry, Neo Geo CD games. I thought, since I'm there, they were cheap. I've seen other games way cheaper, and I just didn't have room in the case, which is a bit of a nightmare. But yeah, so I'm happy with my pickup there. I know I got some Neo Geo arcade boards and stuff, but I wanted a Neo Geo CD as well, because there's some games I haven't got on the arcade, and they're pretty much cheaper to get than the Neo Geo CD. But I tell you what, one thing, there was a hell of a lot of Neo Geo CD games that were really expensive. And I was talking, like 80, 90 quid total for that prices. The other thing I did as well, Xbox 360 games. There's a few 360 shmups and stuff like that I really want to get to add to my collection as well. So I seen quite well, there was loads of games there basically, but there was 2 games I picked up for pretty cheap. Well, one was very cheap. My mate bought it and then bought the PS3 version and gave me the Xbox version. So it's Asura's Wrath, which is supposed to be really good. It's all in English as well, which is pretty cool. So Asura's Wrath, Japanese one. So that was literally free, so I can't argue with that. I picked up The Killer is Dead. That was about 4 quid. I never really played this game, but it's supposed to be really good. This is the premium edition. I don't know whether it's still got whatever downloads and stuff it's got in it. But I picked that up as well on recommendation from my mate. And now we get into... I forgot that Tetris Grandmaster Ace was one of the launch games on the 360 in Japan, and I picked this one up from Trader, and it was 1,482 yen, so it was close to a tenner. I seen it, I thought, oh, I'll have to pick up. I know it's not as good as the arcade ones, but I thought I'll give it a try and see if I can learn Tetris Grandmaster a little bit. So I had that, which was cool. Another game I really wanted to pick up was Mushi-sama for the actual 360. This is currently, I've been looking at this for a while, but it's getting 50-60 quid sort of mark now. I did pay I can't remember exactly how much I paid for it. 5,700 yen. So it was a little bit, about 40 quid, maybe a bit more. But since it was there, I thought, well, I'm going to have to get that. So I bought that because I really wanted it. Another game I really wanted was Dodon Apache Daioju Black Label. I was surprised I found this actually. It was 2,800 yen, so it was really reasonably priced, and I did find quite a few of them in various places when I was there. So it's not hard to pick up in Tokyo, at least like together. They were everywhere, so I got that. So I'm really glad I've got that. That's a really good game. And another game I've been wanting to pick up is Ginga Force. This game seems to be going up in price lately as well, so it's 3,780 yen. Like say, roughly, you know, you're talking 1,000 yen is about £7.50, something like roughly about that sort of mark at the moment. So that was Ginga Force, and that was the last shoot 'em up I picked up on the 360. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start moving this stuff out of the way a minute, because this pickup haul is getting a bit crazy. I'm going to chuck them over there. Right then, here we go then. When I went into Super Potato as well, we went to Super Potato in Akihabara, which was a pretty cool shop, but it is a bit pricey. But the original Super Potato is in Osaka, and we went to Osaka, and there's two of them in Denden Town. There's one that sells some retro and modern, and there's one that sells retro. Oh my god, the retro Super Potato in there is amazing. It's the best retro shop I've ever seen in my life. I got pictures of it. I'll chuck them in the video as well. Crazy shop, and the prices are quite a bit cheaper than Tokyo as well, and in there is loads of stuff. But I picked up a little bit of a Super Potato badge as well. I thought, what the hell, 300 yen, I'll grab that. And I did pick up quite a few things from there, but these are not necessarily from there. Right then, Saturn games. I'm pretty sure I found these in Book Off. I think it was a Book Off. I found them, but they were so cheap, I just thought I had to buy them. There was Virtua Fighter 2 for literally less than £1, and I bought Fighters Megamix for pretty much less than £1, and it was almost like they were so cheap I just couldn't say no. Also there as well, I picked up Ridge Racer Revolution on the PS1 for pretty much less than £1 as well. So where are we getting to now? Let's have a look. We are getting almost... Oh, another Saturn thing. I got myself a memory card for a Saturn as well. They're quite. These are going up on eBay as well, but there's quite loads of them around for all sorts of prices. This one's a little bit yellow, but it was about a tenner, and I thought, right, I'll have that because it's useful to have. I've got the expanded memory, but I haven't actually got the memory card. So look, what other interesting things did I pick up? Oh, I picked up one PS4 game, which I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it. I think it's like Kayanebu or something. It's a beat 'em up by I Is it by Sega? I can't remember. No, Base on, I think it's by. Not sure Sega had something to do with it. You can find this on the in the arcades, in the game centres, on the NASCAR download system. There's usually you find this really cool game. It was Japan only. It's never actually come out here, so I picked that up in a second-hand shop. So I thought that was cool. I was well happy with that. There was a couple of CDs I wanted to pick up as well, and I wanted to pick up like some J-pop's a bit weird, but there's like some people I like. There's a girl called Kyra Pamya. Very, very strange videos. If you ever want to look her up, she's very odd. So I picked up a Greatest Hits CD. So I thought I'd grab that. So that's like a double CD with loads of stuff on it, which is cool. The other Japanese band I really like is World Order. He's a really cool listen, and they got amazing videos where they do like all it's like sort of breakdancing routine type things. Brilliant. I looked everywhere for these CDs. They've got 3 CDs out, and the only one I could find was this. I asked everyone, and literally they just weren't in stock everywhere, which is a bit of a shame because I wanted to pick up their albums when I was there, but that's the only one I could find. But yeah, really cool. Check these out, World Order. They're pretty funky. Like I say, I'm into rock music. I'm in a rock band and everything, but I like other stuff as well. But they are really cool. The music's quite chilling to sort of listen to. The other thing I picked up as well, I just had to be done because I'm a massive fan of the PC Engine. Game Center CX DVD PC Engine DVD Special Edition. It was a little bit pricey, but I found this in Yodobashi, and wicked. I had to buy it. I know it's in Japanese, and the DVD's a Japanese region, so I'm probably gonna have to chuck them in my PC and make copies of it to sort of to watch them properly, because I don't think I got a region-free player. But yeah, Game Center CX PC Engine Special. It looks like a double DVD. I don't know if you've ever seen Game Center CX. If you look on eBay, but YouTube, you'll find translated, and there is a couple of websites that do translated stuff, and I'll try and put a link in it. But Areno, which is the guy by here, he's basically like a stand-up comic type thing, and they give him a game, and he basically sits in and tries to beat it for as long as possible. Sometimes he sits there for like 17 hours, 18 hours trying to beat a game. He's brilliant. He's not very good at games, but is sheer sort of staying power to try and beat these games. Amazing show. It's probably the best gaming show ever, Game Center CX, and it's still going. I've seen about 17 seasons of it, and it's still going. So if you ever get a chance, look up Game Center CX. But yeah, I seen the PC Engine Special Edition, and I literally just had to buy it. So I'm gonna put that with it. What else did I buy? I just thought for the elevator I'll buy a Japanese magazine. I know I can't read it, so I bought a Gamist, and it's issue 101, and I just thought I'd give it a look. Why not? It was like 1,000 yen, so I bought one of them back just for the elevator, and I'll put that over there. Right then, here we go. What else did I bring back? I went looking for PC Engine stuff. I was going to try and bring back loads of PC Engine stuff, but as I found out, PC Engine stuff is expensive everywhere, even in Osaka. It's not cheap at all. Like, it's anything good, it's going to cost you. So it was a real shame that PC Engine stuff weren't cheap, and I love collecting PC Engine stuff. So I've just come to the conclusion that my PC Engine collection is worth a fortune. Because it's really expensive even in Japan. So I picked up a few things, not much, just a few little bits and bobs. I got this from Super Potato. I think it was Super Potato, really. It's Bomberman 94 unboxed. That was just under 1,000 yen, so I had that. I wanted YS4. I know it's in Japanese, and I've got a translated copy of it, but I thought I'd pick it up, and I found this in a really cheap bin. I can't remember exactly how much it cost, but it wasn't much. It was reasonably cheap, so I picked that up as well. I also was walking along in Akihabara, and I came across one of the game shops, and they had some games outside, cheap ones for sale, and I found Splash Lake for 100 yen. which is a puzzle game, which I've never really played actually. But so that's a CD game, so I had that as well. I've been wanting Volfield for ages because I used to have it and I really enjoyed it. So I picked up Volfield as well. Can't remember how much this was. It was probably about a tenner. So I picked up that. And I did pay a little bit more money for it, but I picked up a really nice boxed Parodius on the PC Engine, which is really cool. Really nice boxed. I paid a little bit more for that, but I thought, no, bollocks, I'm going to have it. So I got a really nice boxed Parodius. My mate wanted a couple of games, but I was getting limited on space. But I got him for a pretty good deal. I picked him up Kuroku Yuku Tiger, or people call it various names. Twin Cobra, as it's called here. So I picked up a nice copy of that. I think that worked out about 17 quid, which is pretty decent for a box copy of it. It's gone up quite a bit lately. And I picked him up Mr. Heli, which worked out 19 quid. Which he'd be well happy with that, because that's going for quite a bit these days as well, and that's a really good conversion. Both of these on the PC Engine are pretty excellent, so I picked up them two for him, so that'll keep him happy. And I would, what else did I pick up? Right then, this is one of the other big things I wanted to get when I was in Tokyo. And I'll take it out of the packet so you can see it properly, because it's still, I sort of self-taped the packet all back together after I was playing it in the hotel. That was a good thing, because the telly in the hotel, I just try it out in the hotel. And I really wanted to pick one of these up. They're going for stupid prices on eBay these days. So I'm going to move some of this stuff out of the way a minute and put it all to the side, just to make a little bit of space to fit it. So I picked myself up a boxed PC Engine Super Graphics. I had a look around for these. There weren't that many about, to be honest. There was I'd probably seen about 4 or 5. Neo Geo CD, I think I've seen 3. So this is a lovely boxed one. I wanted to get a boxed one. It's got pretty much, the only thing it hasn't got is the original booklet. But as you can see, boxed Super Graphics. Got the original pad, power supply. I've always wanted one of these. I've never had one. And like I said, they go for about 250, 300 quid on eBay now, boxed. And yeah, so I picked up one of these, so I'm well chuffed about that. Like I say, it's got all the cables and stuff, and there's the machine. That's a really, really cool looking console, and I've never owned one. I say with this Super Graphics as well. The Super Graphics, there was 5 games that were exclusive to that machine, and there was 2 games that when you actually used it on the machine, you got better graphics. The 2 games were the 2 Darius games. It was Darius Alpha and Darius, I can't remember the Plus, I think it is. One was like a game you had to get by collecting tokens, so that game was like stupidly expensive. And one is just basically Darius 1, and you get slightly better graphics. So I'll put that over there. And you get slightly better graphics, but there was 5 exclusive games. I've got 2 of them already, which I picked up for literally a couple of £1 each. One is Granzord, which is like it's like a platform sort of robot type game. The other one is Battlezone, which I've got, which is like it looks like a pretty crappy Afterburner clone, sort of Afterburner clone. And there's 3 other games. One of them was I thought, right, I'm gonna go all out and buy them, box it. But I looked at I seen 1941 in 1 or 2 places. That's all, and it was going for about 380 quid. And I thought at that point, no, I'm not buying that. I'm not paying that much money for it. That's more than it cost me for this. I say this one in most places, they were going for about 36,000 yen in most places. But that one shop in Akihabara downstairs I was talking about, there are 2 of them in there, 2 box versions in there, and they were going for it's either 22 or 26,000 yen I paid for it, which was about 150 quid it cost me. And that was box, so that's a bargain. But I went a little bit mental, and I bought, apart from 1941, which I'm not going to buy because it's crazy price. I went all out and bought 2 of the games for it boxed. First one I bought was Daimakamora, which is Ghouls and Ghosts. 12,000 yen that cost me, which is probably about 85 quid, 80 quid, something like that. A little bit pricey, but this one is pretty much perfect. It's an 8 meg Hue card, and I think it's 8 meg, but look at that. Really, really nice conversion. So I had that, and then I went a little bit mental, and I bought Aldines, which is the shoot 'em up that goes with it. Didn't find this in many places. There was unboxed versions going for about 90 to 100 quid, but I found this in Trader upstairs for 14,000 yen. I think it's worked out about 95 quid, which is a hell of a lot of money to spend on a PC Engine game. But on eBay, this is going for about 200 quid on eBay, and I'm not sure exactly how much this is going, but it's going, it used to go for about 80, but I'm pretty sure it goes for a lot more these days. And they're getting a little bit harder to find as well. You don't find these in many places. I've maybe seen about 3 or 4 of these, and I maybe seen about maybe two box ones and one unboxed version of this. So I went for it, and I bought Ghouls and Ghosts, and I bought Aldines as well. I was going to RGB convert this console myself, but there's a guy in Holland or Sweden or something, I can't remember where, who's doing the RGB cables, which basically plug in the extension port with the amps and everything in it. So I thought, well, I can't be asked messing around, so I thought, right, I'll just buy one of them. So that's what I've done. It hasn't turned up yet, so I'll get that running in RGB, and I'll probably do a review of some of the games I expect as well. And that, games-wise, that is pretty much it, I think. The other crazy things I picked up, in the game centres, there's these bags everywhere, just in case you win stuff out of the UFOs. You pay 500 and buy a bag. It's a really nice quality bag, and I thought I'd buy it, and it's a Space Invaders bag. So I bought this from Hay in Akihabara, so that was cool. And then inside then, I went to Beep in Aki as well, which is a little shop, which is basically downstairs. It's had a lot of computer stuff. I gotta admit, they were really expensive in there as well. But on the side, they had flyers for the new M2 Shot Triggers game coming out on the PS4. I think it's next month. It's either the end of this month or next month. I can't remember that. I can't remember the actual name of it. So I picked up 2 of these flyers, which are really, really nice. So they were like free giveaways. So I had them. I'm trying to think what else I picked up. I also thought, right, I got a couple of PC Engine stuff, and I use step-down converters for them all. So I thought I'd pick up a Japanese extension plug with switches on them, so I can plug all my PC Engines in there, and then all I have to use is one of my step-downs on the end of that, and I can just turn them on one by one. So that'll save a little bit of space in my setup. So I bought that as well. That was pretty nice. Pretty heavy actually as well. I didn't think I'd have enough room to bring it back, to be honest, but I did. We went to I think that's all my gaming pickups. I don't think there's anything else. I just have a quick rummage just in case there was something else that I picked up, but I don't think there was. No, I think that's pretty much all my gaming pickups. We went to the market and shrine in Asuka or Asakusa. I think it was Asuka they pronounce it. That was amazing. I've always wanted to go there. I've seen that front of that market in loads of games. It's in World Heroes and various other stuff. And I've always wanted to go there. And while we were going down there, there's just like market stalls that have been there for like 100, 150 years, which is mad. And the shrine at the bottom is amazing. I was really impressed. And while we were walking down there, I seen these. I thought, oh, I'm going to have to buy them. There was rickshaws everywhere all around the market, and you pay so much money, and the guy would pretty much put you on the rickshaw, and he'd run you up and down the roads, like sort of old school style. And all these guys were all wearing these type of shoes, and I seen them, and I thought, my mate bought some as well, and I had to buy some. I bought myself some ninja shoes. How cool are they? And they were wearing these and running around the streets with the rickshaws. So I bought myself some ninja shoes. They're pretty tight fitting because you've got to get your toes in them. And at the back, they're weird. They basically sort of like clip over and clip in, and you put them on. It's surprisingly really comfortable, and they'd be pretty cool for like shoes around the house and stuff. But these ones are almost like the Nike version of ninja shoes because they got air bubbles and stuff in them. So I bought ninja shoes. How amazing is that? Where the hell would you buy them from here? And then with my ninja shoes as well. It had to be done. I bought ninja shoe socks as well, so you separate your toes. So I bought a couple of pairs of ninja socks as well. And so I'm going to be using these around the house to keep your feet warm. And if you ever needed to go out to the car, you can always go out to the car. I might even go shopping in them for a laugh. But yeah, cool ninja shoes. And apart from some traditional Japanese stuff, which I picked up, that was pretty much all my gaming pickups I picked up from Tokyo. I pretty much spent a fortune. But I think I really do think I picked up some really cool stuff. And each sort of item I picked up's got a really cool story. And I love Japan. I'm a bit gutted I'm back in some ways. I love Japan. It's a crazy place. There's a sea of people everywhere. The other thing I can say is Ikebukuro is a stinky place. I didn't expect it. Japan is pretty stinky, especially in the main city. When you go outside the city, it's fine, but in the main city, it's pretty stinky. But it is a nuts place with it's like sensory overload everywhere you go. They got mad shops, but I loved it, and I would really love to go back one day, and perhaps I'll go somewhere else. Perhaps I'll go to Kaido or something next time. But I really enjoyed my trip, and Japan's amazing. And if you ever get a chance to go. I really did love it. Like so I picked up loads of stuff. This is everything I picked up. And hope you liked the video, and I'll chuck some videos up soon of some of the other things I've had, maybe like some photos of places around Japan, and I'll do like a little sort of Japan trip video once I get all my photos downloaded. I took loads of photos, but hope you enjoyed that, guys, and I'll catch you soon with some other really interesting videos from Japan as well. So I'll see you guys. Ta-ra, bye now.